Hey everybody, this is Tulip.
And this is Cassidy.
And look what the cat dragon!
I'm a reenactor. I work here.
And you are here for Season 3, Episode 1, the premiere of Preacher.
Yes.
And this is
Angelville.
the good news, the gospel according to Preacher.
Yeah, take two.
Take two, that's right. Last night got a little disrupted, so we're trying again.
And it wasn't the Russians or North Korea this time. It was neighbors.
Or the Supreme Court, which I won't even get into.
I just can't wait till the purge happens. I'm so excited.
I'm gonna be on the losing end of the purge, I'm sure.
Oh, there are going to be so many people I'm going to brain.
Man, maybe we need to review those movies.
There's a new one coming out.
I know. The first Purge.
Oh. I can't wait for the real life one. Because you know it's coming.
I was going to say, you may not have to wait very much longer.
No. No. It needs to start happening before, like, my hips and knees get shot. I can't run anymore.
Oh, that reminds me, I'm supposed to have a date with the treadmill tonight. Oh,
Better you than me.
oh God.
I don't run unless I'm actually chasing something, like an escaped dog, or something's chasing me like a clown with a knife.
Or Jody with a truck.
Or a bear. Because we have killer bears here in Alaska.
Yes, we do. Oh my God.
Yeah.
We had a mauling just recently up probably 30 miles, well, a little more than 30 miles from us.
Yeah.
So...
And it mauled the guy to death, and then one of the search and rescue people, it mauled that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alaska's not for the faint of heart.
No. We've lost 2 dogs this year on trails from, 4 dogs, 2 to bears and 2 to wolves.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I feel worse about the dogs than I do about the humans, always.
Yeah, me too. Although one of the dogs was interrupting the wolf feeding, so I'm kind of like, maybe you should have had your dog on a leash, considering you were on a leash dog trail.
Probably.
Yeah, really
I'm not
wasn't
crazy about loose dogs. They create a lot of chaos.
And everyone thinks they have a dog that's under competent voice control, but I don't know.
I don't think that about any of my heathens.
No, God. Mine can't be trusted. Mm-mm. No. Because, they understand that the car is big and will hit them, but when they see, something across the street, they're like, squirrel!
Right.
And start
That's
running.
far more enticing.
Yeah, no. All other thoughts leave their brain, and they just head straight for whatever they want. So, no.
Yep. Totally,
Wow,
man.
That took a real hard right turn off of the topic of the show.
So I don't have any numbers because it's too soon for numbers for the season premiere.
Wow.
And we talked about, the season finale the last time we podcasted, and we talked about numbers because it was, 6 months after the season finale that we finally podcasted it.
Something like that.
So I don't have any numbers for us, but I have my rating.
What's your rating?
Well, so I'm going to preface it and say that I rated it high because Madame L'Angel was scary as hell. So I gave it 4.5 out of 5 scorpion peppers.
Ooh. So the scorpion pepper is actually the hottest pepper.
I had never heard of scorpion peppers.
A lot of people think it's the ghost pepper that's the hottest pepper, but it is actually on the Scoville scale of pepper hotness. Individual plants can get up to 2 million SHUs, which is their measurement of hotness. And so, yeah, the scorpion pepper is the hottest pepper.
I would have said the ghost pepper.
Yeah.
Until just now.
Scorpion. Got a sting to it.
Scorpion pepper. So what's your score?
Mine is actually right on par with
What's
yours.
your Scoville score for this episode? What's your hotness score for this episode?
Mine is 4.4 swamp consomme.
Jessie, little Jessie, that's my swamp consomme.
Swamp consomme is either going to be delicious or it's going to be something you eat on a dare.
I'm a little scared that it's something that you eat on a dare.
But, if you had a scorpion pepper beforehand, you wouldn't taste it at all.
That's true.
Yeah.
And you might actually enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sure it's nutritious.
It would cool the fire.
I'm sure it's got plenty of gator meat, maybe some toad, some swamp water.
So literally, we're watching this and the other half says, gator. I haven't tried that yet, but they're selling it at the store.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, gator. I would totally try gator.
Well, now you're going to have to come visit.
I will. There's a place here in Juneau that serves ostrich omelets, and it serves 8.
I can believe that.
And the emu omelet serves 4.
I've never had an ostrich egg. I've never had an emu egg. I will say duck eggs are pretty amazing.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't like goose eggs.
Never had a goose egg.
Yeah, well, and I guess it depends on what you feed them, but like the ones that I had and saw, like the yolks are super orange. So if you try to make a yellow cake, it comes out orange.
Oh, that's cool. Lots of beta carotene.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm sure it's all in your feed.
Now we've taken a hard left.
There's all sorts of creatures in the swamp.
So the title was obviously self-explanatory. We're back in Angelville.
Yes, that's why I rated it so highly, is because new season, new characters, new location. It's like all new storyline. It's great. I love it.
Do you think it's going to be predominantly our location for this season?
I do.
It'll be very interesting. I think there's a lot to happen, and I think Jesse has now gotten himself into quite the fix with Marie Langell.
Yeah, there's a price for everything, and apparently that price is like 8 drops of blood on a napkin.
And what, $4,900,000? So this was written by Sam Catlin, who wrote the season 2 finale, and who, of course, is a big mover in terms of producing and general writing for the whole series. The director is a director that we've talked about on Biters before, and I'm sure we've talked about him on this as well because he's written for Preacher before. But Michael Slovis. So he's written for Walking Dead, he's written for Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, Hell on Wheels. He's got tons of AMC credits. And he's also written for Man in the High Castle and Game of Thrones.
Yes, we have discussed this before.
Yeah, I can remember those two as being things that kind of set him apart from other people we've talked about. He also has has directed for a miniseries called The Looming Tower, which is based on a book about Al-Qaeda. And I have to admit it's on my Kindle and I haven't read it yet.
Oh.
But it's by a Pulitzer Prize winning author named Lawrence Wright, who wrote a really good book about Scientology called Going Clear.
Ah, yes. That's why I recognize the name. I love the documentary. I love all of the stuff that the former Scientology chick does. Like, I just love seeing all the crazy Scientology stuff. Nothing against Scientology.
Hail Xenu. I do have to say Going Clear was really good, the documentary and the book. I highly recommend the book if you're looking for something to just spend a little bit of time digging a little deeper.
Some of us only have 15-minute commutes. Books on tape in our fancy cars.
Right. I could listen to a whole book on tape at the rate I'm going right now, between the road construction and then the winter season. Because, anybody who doesn't live in Alaska doesn't know, but truly we have 2 seasons, road construction and winter.
Mm-hmm. It's absolutely true.
So I wanted to say one more thing about just the director and the writer and just generally speaking about what we're headed into for this 3rd season. So whatculture.com, which is one of the reviews that I read when I was kind of skulking around the internet looking for stuff on this episode, calls Preacher, quote, the most tonally unique show on television, which I thought was a great description.
Yeah, that is definitely, it's nail on the head.
And I don't know if you saw, but Brian actually said it's his favorite series right now.
Really?
He did, yeah.
Nice.
I don't know that he's actually listening to us. He's probably not, but...
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Bri.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is nothing out there like it.
It's pretty amazing, and there's part of me that's like, maybe, just maybe, we might get a season 4 when people are saying things like that, but I don't know. We'll have to see how the season 3 goes.
You know, like I said, new characters, new location, new storyline. It worked for Fear the Walking Dead. I mean, not like they're going to kill off all 3 of our main characters or anything, but I think that this season will help breathe new life into the show and might pique some interest.
I really hope so, because you and I have both said all along that we really love this show.
Yes.
And that this is a show we want to see succeed.
And I haven't actually read the comic book. I have it, but I haven't read it. But I hear it is a real departure from the books.
Well, and so the other thing that I've read, though, is that Madame Langelle was really like a big, big, bad character. So she's got a really big rise in the series. And I've been thinking... I've read part of the series. I need to go back and actually read the whole series because I would be really fascinated to see how she's treated in the comic books.
Right. But the whole storyline with the way Tulip was killed and everything,
right.
and the direction the show seems to be going this season is
very different.
Departure. Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't know if that adaptation is just because it's so hard to translate from the book to the screen, or if that's just the way the writers saw the show going versus the books.
I think that Walking Dead has really created a situation where writers can take source material but depart from it and still keep the loyalty of the fans.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So that actually kind of gets us into our featured cast member.
So lay it on us, because I was really shocked by just how deep this actress's history is.
Yes.
She's got so much. It's amazing.
So our featured cast member is obviously Miss Betty Lynn Buckley, who plays Madame Langelle, or as she's titled in IMDb, Grandma,
yeah.
Grandma. GRAN_MA.
Right.
Grandma. Yeah, I had no idea the body of her work. And she's one of those people where I'm like, I kind of recognize her from somewhere, but I don't quite know where. And going through her IMDb profile, her very first role on screen was in Carrie,
right,
from Stephen King. She played Miss Collins, who was the gym teacher.
Okay, so that was what I was thinking. It's been a long time since I've watched Carrie, and I was like, which teacher was that? And I was wondering if it was the gym teacher.
So yeah, she was the gym teacher who found Carrie in the bathroom,
right?
In the shower, and she punished all the other girls and everything. So that was her first major Hollywood role. But before that, she was a megastar, and after that, on Broadway. She's actually called the voice of Broadway.
Which I thought was really amazing. I mean, just the fact that they've gotten someone of this caliber for the series.
And, like, the more I dug into her, the more I'm like, oh my God, they really they had to have laid out some cash for her. Which is one of the reasons why we think that Fear the Walking Dead has such a great success, is they finally spent some money on some more well-known actors and got a little more, fan following. So Betty Lynn Buckley won a Tony Award for her performance as Grisabella the Glamour Cat in Cats in 1983. So I was telling Diane before we started podcasting that when I was about 14 years old, I had a Walkman, which, tells you how old I am.
There may be people who are listening who don't know what a Walkman is.
And a cassette
We can always
tape.
hope, right?
Right. I had a cassette tape of Cats, the musical, that I basically wore out. I absolutely love the music from Cats. And it got me through a really kind of hard time when I was younger. And I just remember at 14 listening to that musical on repeat constantly. And one of the songs that just I absolutely love is Memories. And it was sung by Betty Lynn Buckley.
So she was the original Broadway part of the original Broadway cast?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. And you can find her on YouTube. She posts a lot. She has she doesn't post a lot, but there's a lot of her music out there. She has 17 albums.
I saw that, and even I think a relatively recent one with somebody fairly big, if I remember right.
Yes. Her latest release was April 2017. She was Grammy nominated. She didn't win, but she was Grammy nominated. And so she's actually a huge fan of the Preacher comic book and the show.
No way, really?
Yes, I know. So when she got the call that they wanted her to play Madame L'Angele, she totally leapt at the chance. And then a few months later, she gets a call, and she's headlining for the national tour of Hello, Dolly.
Oh, my God. So did she have to choose?
No.
Or she was able to do both? Oh, my gosh.
I mean, this woman is 70 years old.
She is our mother's age. In fact, she has a birthday next week.
Okay, and so do you know what she does in her spare time?
I don't know. She probably planks like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Who knows?
She's got a 17-acre ranch where
she
raises and trains cutting horses.
Oh my God. Do you know how athletic you have to be to ride a cutting horse?
Yeah, right?
Because my big lumbering Jupiter is not even remotely that talented or quick, and I have to be pretty on top of it to ride him. I can't imagine riding a cutting horse.
Yeah.
I am now officially in love with Betty Buckley.
Right? I love this woman. Like, the more I find out about her, the more I'm like, is it too late to adopt me? Can you be my grandma?
I have to ask, do you remember her from 8 is Enough? Because I remember watching 8 is Enough, like, obsessively when I was a kid, and I don't remember who Abby was.
No, I never watched 8 is Enough.
It's that age difference between the two of us. 10 years is a lot.
It is, sometimes.
Yeah.
So, her big dream was to be a world champion rodeo barrel racer, and her other one was to sing on Broadway, and she's got to do one of them.
That's pretty cool. And she's training cutting horses, which takes as much talent in a different direction as being an award-winning barrel racer.
How amazing is this woman?
She's pretty amazing, and she will be 71 on July 3rd.
Oh my goodness. That is so awesome.
And now she's playing the vile, creepy, scary as hell Madame L'Angele.
And what's funny is, like, we say, oh my goodness, she's going to be 71. They make her look 90.
They do. They do. In fact, she looks fabulous on her IMDb profile.
She does. Like, in Preacher, she looks like a corpse. She's so pale, and they have that dark, like, wiggy hair. Yeah. Yeah. So, fans of Mr. Phil Parrish will know Betty Buckley from her recent role in Supergirl.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. So she's also was nominated for like some sort of scare award for her role in the movie Split, which I have not seen. I really want to watch it. M. Night Shyamalan kind of lost me with the Lady in the Lake or whatever it was. So I haven't really been up on my M. Night Shyamalan movies, but Split looked really good. She's been in an episode of Leftovers, a couple episodes of Pretty Little Liars, Melrose Place, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, another
Oz. She was in Oz.
Yes. I've actually only seen the first episode of Oz, but yeah. So She was in. Okay, if anyone remembers the other M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Happening, with Mark Wahlberg.
I don't, which is a bummer because I like Mark Wahlberg.
She was the creepy old lady in the house, so they prepared her well for this role.
I was gonna say she's got creepy old lady in the house down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she was in the movie Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner.
Which, there were two movies that came out right around the same time about Wyatt Earp and Tombstone, and I love them both for different reasons.
Yes, exactly. Which is why I specified the one with Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because the other one was with Sam Elliott and Kurt Russell.
And Val Kilmer as Doc Holliday.
Oh,
yes.
Barry.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right. So yeah, I mean, she never lacks for work.
She is truly a Renaissance woman.
Yes, whether it is on screen, on stage, in the studio, I mean, triple threat.
And not just in terms of where she works, but she also is a teacher. So she's a theater instructor in multiple different schools.
Yes. I mean, this woman is just amazing. And her recent interviews about her role on Preacher and her leading role in Hello, Dolly, she's calling it her Make America Happy Again.
Well, I don't know that she's going to make me happy again, but she's certainly going to make me scared again.
Well, I'm happy she's on the show.
I am too. We're really lucky to have someone of this caliber in this role.
I mean, could you imagine any other leading lady who's of this age in this role? No. Like, she is Madame Lajelle.
I agree. I mean, there's not anyone that I can even think of in this role now because, pardon me, she has inhabited this role so completely. Yeah,
definitely. I was going through some stuff because I absolutely love the movie Carrie. And so I was going through some trivia about the movie, and there's a scene in it where Miss Collins is punishing the girls that made fun of Carrie, and Miss Collins actually slaps one of the girls, and the director wanted authenticity, and he's like, really, Decker? And so she did. Those were full-on face slaps, and they had to do the take about 30 times.
So, that poor actress.
Betty Buckley had to slap this girl 30 times. So I thought that was super funny.
That's dedication to a role.
It is. Like, at that point, like, not only does, like, the girl's face hurt, but your hand starts hurt, you know?
I don't know. If I were the actress getting slapped, I don't think I would care about the other person's hand that much.
Right? I'd be like, can I get a stand-in? Do I get hazard pay?
Right?
Yeah. But the other funny thing about Carrie that's not Betty Buckley related, but it is kind of Bible related, was every Bible quote that Carrie's mom says in the movie is not a quote from the Bible. It's made up.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's really cool. That's totally appropriate to Preacher.
I love knowing that. 'Cause, like, it had to be pointed out. Like, I'm sure, like, there was some, like, scholar who's like, that's not in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. And, like, went and edited the IMDb thing because, like, none of us know. Because we're all like, yeah, that totally sounds like it's in the Bible.
Totally.
Yeah. So, Betty Buckley actually played Carrie's mom in the Broadway version of Carrie the Musical.
I'm sorry, you lost me at Carrie the Musical.
Right? So, it ran for 5 showings.
It didn't spawn any big hits like Memories.
It's largely considered the biggest flop in Broadway history.
Oh my god.
So, I thought that was just absolutely perfect. That's
hilarious.
Yeah, I absolutely love I love little facts like that. That and the Bible one.
I don't know. Carrie the Musical. You had me at Carrie the Musical. You lost me and you had me.
I know. I'm like, okay, somebody there needs. I've got to look for a YouTube video of that because that just sounds like a drinking game in the making.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. I listened to a couple of Betty's songs on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and I gotta say, I like them.
Oh, that's cool. Newer
They're
ones or Broadway ones or...
um newer ones. One of them was posted 4 months ago, and one of them was posted 7 months ago. So I listened to "Tell Me on a Sunday" and "Ghost Light," and it's very mellow. Like it would be something like to have on in the background, if you're doing something, or if you've got company, or like I could totally see having like a little boutique store and having this music, because it's very mellow and relaxing. And yeah, yeah. So 17 albums.
Grammy nominated. Concerts
Grammy
worldwide.
Yeah. Tony Award winning.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. And that is such a Texas name, Betty Lynn Buckley.
Right?
I love it.
The queen of cutting horses and Broadway.
And our Cajun sorceress.
Our voodoo queen.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I don't know if she keeps referring to, or if articles keep referring to her as a Cajun sorceress. But I'm like, I kind of like that.
Yeah, no, it works. It's good.
I think I'm going to use that for a screen name for my next thing that I have to sign up for.
The next time you have to sign up for something.
Yeah,
Very good.
that's awesome. So yeah, that's Miss Betty Lynn Buckley, Madame L'Angele, who we will be seeing a ton more of in the future.
Good, because she's definitely compelling.
Definitely.
Well, so leading into that, what's your good? What's your good news? What's your gospel?
My gospel is actually super simple. Tulips alive! Yay! That was the craziest episode of bringing her back. I like how they showed her in purgatory, and she kind of had to get herself out. And meanwhile, Madame L'Angele's eating her hair and skin and nail clipping. I know. Oh, but I absolutely loved this episode for the whole, that whole storyline. And at the end, we got Tulip back.
So I have to ask you, did you notice as Jesse and Cassidy were running in with Tulip in Jesse's arms screaming for Grandma that the resurrected chicken went running across the screen?
Yes.
And I thought, does this mean Tulip will have the lifespan of the resurrected chicken?
I think we talked about that in the last episode where, that chicken is still alive, like, 14 years later? Was it 94?
Easily,
no,
yeah.
20, yeah, no, way longer than a chicken.
Way longer than any chicken has a right to live.
Yeah, so, Cassidy may not have turned her into a vampire, but she may live just as long.
Jesse turned her into a zombie, sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, which, begs the question we talked about in the last episode. Does Madame L'Angele hold any reign over the people she brings back?
I think she does, and I'm kind of getting into territory of the word, but since we're here, I'll say it. So, Jesse threatens her at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, "You think I didn't think about that?" I think that she imbibes the essence of Tulip because she has somehow bonded herself to Tulip, and if Jesse messes with her, he injures Tulip.
Oh, very cool.
I think that's what all the eating her hair and skin and nails and all of that was all about.
Yes, because that didn't seem too necessary to her being brought back. Because, she mixed up that little weird shake thing in the magic bullet, which I absolutely loved that a Cajun sorceress uses a magic bullet.
We cracked up about it too.
Yeah. I'm like, I have that exact thing. I have one in my office and one in my kitchen.
But do you have Transpoil?
No, I don't.
What the heck is Transpoil?
So did you Google it?
I did, and I couldn't find anything that really made any sense.
Well, you speak French, don't you?
Je parle un peu de français.
So there's some websites out there that were in French.
There were also some Russian ones and some Asian ones, and I was like, I am not going down any of these roads, because God knows what I'm going to get if I click on this.
right?
Right.
So, there's a thing about transpoil about something about oil.
Well, so like I googled transpoil and voodoo to see if maybe that would bring anything up, and I just got all these hits for Preacher.
Right, right. Yeah, so, yeah, there's something about transpoil and oil, too. So, I don't know.
At first I couldn't, I was like, what are they saying? Transport? Transporter? I couldn't figure out what they were saying. So,
Well, and when Jody was holding it up, it was a little vial of liquid.
and it
So,
looked kind of like oil.
yeah, it was like a little transportation oil
Yeah.
or something. And then, of course, when it appeared to Tulip in Purgatory, it was the battery.
Right.
But, I think it's just a transportation oil used in magic.
Your guess is as good as anything I could come up with.
Yeah. It's something made up by the Preacherverse.
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, you did point out, and it's true, there are other websites out there that reference Transpoil. I just wasn't willing to click on any of them.
Well, and maybe it's just so secretive and voodoo-y that it's not on the internet.
So we have to find a voodoo priestess and interview him or her.
Mm-hmm. I'll get right on that.
Okay, you do that.
I
Along with your
have
biblical verses and your numerology.
I have several on speed dial.
Excellent.
Yeah. So what was your gospel?
Well, my gospel was Purgatory because I loved seeing Tulip kind of in that setting, and I liked the way that they constructed it. It looked like a sitcom.
Okay. So did it look like a little familiar to you?
No, was it supposed to?
I immediately got the Drop Dead Fred vibe. So do you
Oh.
remember when she took the last pill to make Fred disappear and they wound up in this very hollow, like, facsimile of her childhood home?
I vaguely do. I'm going to have to go back and watch Drop Dead Fred now. It's been a while.
Yeah, so I totally got that vibe, that kind of like the void beyond this facsimile of the childhood home. Yeah, yeah. It was totally bizarre. I instantly was transported back into the movie Drop Dead Fred. So, and maybe I'm the only one out there, but yeah. And if you have not seen the movie Drop Dead Fred, you must stop what you're doing, pause, and go watch the movie Drop Dead Fred.
I was going to say, for like the two people who are actually listening, please watch Drop Dead Fred if you haven't.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's a great movie. The Mega
It is.
Beast.
The Mega Beast. It's not Faith. That's one that I hope they never remake because they got it perfect the first time.
Yeah, it would be a shame if they did anything to it. Let's hope they don't.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was your Job?
My Job actually relates to my gospel from the last two episodes. I absolutely loved seeing Eugene and Hitler escape hell, and we got no Eugene or Hitler this episode, and I'm just chomping at the bit to find out what's going on with those two.
Okay, so actually some of the reviews that I read pointed to that as a good thing, because it really, no, not because they didn't want to know and not because they didn't want to see
It would have
Eugene and
fractured
Hitler,
the episode.
but to really, so that they could create this new Preacherverse in this episode and really set the tone for season 3. They felt like it was really good that they stuck with just one setting and one group of characters.
I could see that. I'm thinking of poor Eugene, where Hitler runs away and now he's all alone in Uggs. And he's headed for Anvil, which is no longer there.
Right.
And everyone he knows is dead. So
Well, I think
I'm
sadly
like
he'll figure that out pretty quickly.
right. So I'm very concerned with Eugene. So I'm chomping at the bit for that storyline, and like I said, this is it's my Job, and it was the only thing I could come up with for this episode, because I loved everything about this episode. I was just missing Eugene. So, that was the only thing I could come up with that was bad.
And it looks like maybe episode 3 will get Eugene and Hitler.
Well, we know what my bad will be next episode.
Not necessarily.
No, definitely. Maybe not. Probably not. I don't know. So what was your Job?
My Job, I'm pulling a card from your deck, was also Purgatory. Oh. So it was both my Gospel and my Job. So it was heartbreaking.
It was.
Just watching Tulip suffer the way she was suffering, and watch her kind of buying in and talking back to her mom and talking back to her dad and kind of trying to defend herself, her little self.
Well, and I felt like she was flipping back and forth between her younger self and her older, like the dialogue. I could totally see that's exactly what she said back then as a little girl, but now she's saying it as adult Tulip.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh.
And I don't know if you realized it, but when she abandoned herself as a little girl, she abandoned herself for Jesse. Which I just think that's hugely symbolic, that she abandoned herself for Jesse.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
So I thought I thought Purgatory was awesome. I loved the way that they depicted it. I also thought it was just incredibly heartbreaking watching that character suffer that much.
Right. Yeah. And I love the way that Purgatory was done, that it was just basically a waiting room, and it's going to be different for everybody. And you're not there for long.
And you haven't read the comic books, but the depiction of Tulip's mom looks so much like the way that Tulip is actually depicted in the comic book.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. And I don't know if that was intentional, but it sure seemed like a nod to the character in the comic book.
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Because she's actually a janky white chick in the comic book.
Yeah, that was so disturbing, hearing her mom working in the next room the entire time.
It was a little disturbing.
Oh, yeah, no.
And when she was shooting at the door, keep it down out there. Oh.
Oh, and her poor dad. He can't do anything right.
No, he can't.
It's no wonder why Tulip turned out the way she did. I'm surprised she didn't turn out worse.
Tulip has a very high ACEs score.
Yes.
For those who don't know, it's the the Adverse Childhood Experiences study. She has a very high ACEs score.
Then again, so do we.
Right. And we've managed to survive and become successful podcasters.
Yes. Yes. I think all of Tulip's troubles can be tied back to her love for Necco wafers.
So tell me, because you're hipper than I am, so Necco wafers are a thing suddenly again. I'm hearing a lot about them in the news again.
What?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. They're chalk.
I know. They're gross. And the only ones I remember are the ones that are licorice flavored, that are black licorice flavored.
If you are over 10, just eat Tums. You'll get Not even joking. Like, Necco wafers are disgusting. They are the worst candy. Like, when you get that at Halloween, that's the house you egg. Not even the people that don't give you candy. The people that give you, like, dental floss and stuff. No, they mean well. Necco wafer people are sociopaths, and they deserve an egging.
So, when you Google it, you get Shop Necco Wafers, Amazon.com. Necco Wafers at Walmart.
Gross.
Necco Wafers nutritional information.
Chalk.
Oh, Necco going out of business. I wonder what that's all about.
'Cause they're disgusting.
Yeah. Oh, no, so here we go. This is the thing that I was thinking about. So this is an article that's 3 months old, and the title of the article is Necco Wafers Continue to See a Sudden Surge in Demand. Necco wafers is quickly gaining in popularity following years of waning commercial success, as many consider it to be an old-fashioned product that can't compete with modern candy bars. The company may reportedly be going out of business due to this waning popularity, but sales are going through the roof as many want to get their hands on a supply of Necco wafers before this happens. The candy has a very long shelf life, making the acquisition a suitable one for many.
It's because it's asbestos in wafer form.
The candy's recipe has not changed since 1847, and it used to exist in a variety of flavors such as orange, lemon, lime, clove, chocolate, cinnamon, licorice, and wintergreen. Necco wafers were eaten by Union soldiers in the thick of the Civil War, while World War II soldiers were also given the candies because they don't spoil or melt.
It's because they're asbestos.
So I knew I had heard something recently about Necco wafers. There you go.
They're surging in popularity, which is just another harbinger of the purge coming. See how I circled that back around?
What do I need to do to prepare for this purge? I'm getting more and more scared as we podcast longer.
Well, apparently if you want a candy with a long shelf life during the purge, Necco wafers is the way to go, you sociopath.
And
no.
You can find the preppers for the purge because they're the ones who have the big influx of Necco wafers in their households.
Crazy. Nope. I think I would probably rather eat Tulip's hair and nail clippings.
Oh, it sounds about as good.
Maybe not the shavings from her foot, but I don't know.
I don't know, it's kind of Parmesan.
Yeah. I can see that.
Oh. I don't know. Necco wafers, a bite of tulip. I'm having a hard time deciding.
Well, I know what Cassidy would choose.
So does this bring us to the word?
Revelation? The word.
The revelation. Sorry, revelation.
Revelation.
So, your revelation?
The plantation. I wanted to call it a compound. Plantation.
Oh, just the whole setting.
The tombs, like everything that's going on. What was with the creepy dude that like broke in on Jesse's mom,
right.
And she was like put him back with the others, and like he said something about wanting something back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I can't do that. Like, what is going on at this place? But I'm so excited to learn. And Jesse's mom with the other mother with her child, the little black kid,
right.
and I'm afraid I'm going to get sold as a slave. And she's like, you'll be fine as long as you're with your mother. And that was total foreshadowing to, her dying and Jesse being left alone without his mother.
Not just that, but like she was with her mother and she wasn't fine.
Right. And just this whole new setting is just going to be amazing. And I can't wait to find out all the crazy underbelly stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And it looks like we're going to have maybe some more time in the tombs coming up.
Yeah, I think there's an episode titled The Tombs.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So what was your revelation?
Well, so my revelation was just Madame Angel, and we already talked about her quite a bit at length when we talked about Betty Buckley.
Yeah.
She was just amazing. She was completely transfixing. I looked at her and I thought she is completely believable as the person that she's supposed to be.
Yes.
There's not a single part of me that says this is an actress. There's every part of me that's like, this is Madame Angel.
Yeah. Yeah, that is her house. That is what she does. Yeah. She's a scary old lady.
Yeah.
But she's sort of like compelling. Like,
oh, completely.
Yeah, I would take the tour. I would love to meet her. I want her to find, my missing cat. Yeah, she's totally, she's such a transfixing character. And
would you do the ritual rictus dance of the dude who was doing the sober spell?
Okay, I was wondering about that. I was like, is that guy a zombie? Is she making a zombie now? What's
Was that
going
her
on?
driving the alcoholism out of him? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but dude, there's a drug called antabuse that you can take, and you don't have to sign your soul away
I
to
was
some
just
crazy old
thinking,
swamp lady.
probably costs a lot less than what he paid Madame Langell.
He's a councilman. I'm sure it's covered under his insurance.
Probably. And he's got better insurance than any of us.
Right?
Even then, even back then.
Seriously, like that was my first thought when like they said sober spell. I was like, dude, you do know that there is a drug called antabuse that will make you vomit if you drink.
It's going to make you do
Like,
exactly the same thing.
yeah, yeah. Like I don't know, like what you signed away to Madame Langell, but eh,
Even the generic antabuse would have been cheaper.
yeah. Isn't that hilarious that like we know that drug by name?
Sweetheart, I have written for that drug.
Well, we do live in
We
Alaska.
do live in Alaska.
Yep. Oh,
Oh my
yeah.
god, did you just hear Smalls?
I can hear Smalls.
He's
He's
outside the
grumpy.
door going, which is probably how he feels about antabuse. So,
So the bus that Jesse's mom was catching, did you catch the name of it?
dog and pony show.
Dog and Pony Show, Dog and Pony Bus Line.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm like, is that like a play on Greyhound?
That's perfect. Yes, it totally is. That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Because Greyhounds are racing dogs, and you race dogs and ponies, and it's the Dog and Pony Bus Line.
That is hilarious. Very good catch.
Yeah, that was funny.
We are now officially into the word, aren't we?
We are totally in the word.
All right. So,
Yep.
where the heck was Jesse when his mom was with Madame Langell? Was he with his dad?
With his
And
dad,
if so,
yeah.
why were his parents separated?
I don't think his mom wanted to be there.
No. What was so compelling about being back with mom that she needed to be with her mom?
I don't think she needed to be with her mom. I think her mom needed to be with her, and she was basically held prisoner because she was just going to a movie, and there's no law against going to movies. She wasn't running away,
Right?
right? And having to keep and like I don't know how she was able to keep like Madame Langell has like literally has a crystal ball. How did she not know about Jesse? So yeah, I don't think that Jesse's mom was there by choice. I think she got pregnant by Jesse's dad and then ran away to have the baby, and then she came back and left Jesse with his dad so that he would be safe from grandma.
You think so?
Oh, definitely. Because even Jody and TJ,
TC.
TC are like the acting was so great. Everyone like they were so every once in a while that like Madame Langell would say something and the look of terror in their eyes, like that's they work there, they live there, that's their job, but they are terrified of that woman.
So did you notice, by the way, that between Christina and Madame Langell, the women were totally in charge?
Yes.
They were totally in charge. Even when Jody apprehended Christina off of the bus and brought her back to Madame Langell, the women were totally in charge.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a total matriarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which kind of makes me think that, like, Tulip might kind of be okay with Jesse's grandma. Strong women.
I don't know. They may clash.
Yeah.
Especially because they're both fighting for Jesse.
That's very true. That's very true. And there may be some unknown force over Tulip at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So when they were done cutting the picture of Jesse out of Christine, Madame Langell said, strap her into the machine.
Right. What's that all about?
What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
And
Oh
are
my
they going to
goodness.
show us?
Oh, God, I hope so.
They better.
Yeah. No, but it, like, I'm a little afraid that it's going to be something out of, like, the movie Hostel or something, you know? Like, I'm not into torture, like, horror movies, but Yeah, what's the machine?
Oh, it's got to be torture.
Ugh.
We're
Or it's like it's some sort of thing that keeps Madame Langelle alive. It sucks the life force of young people.
oh,
Yeah. She like survives off the souls of people.
souls and toenails. Ew.
And foot shaving. Yeah, no. So there were a lot of clocks in the episode.
There
Did
were
you
a
notice
lot of
that?
clocks. I felt like they were very significant, and the only time that I was able to capture was the time in Purgatory, which was 2:45.
Okay, so when they come in, when they bring Tulip in and he's looking all around for Grandma,
There's a clock.
uh,
I saw that,
there's
and I just didn't freeze it fast enough to get the time on it.
12:10.
Okay.
So when they bring Tulip's dead body in, it is 10 past noon. Uh, Flash into Purgatory, it's 2:45. So what? 2.5 hours later? 2 hours and 35 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
So when Grandma checks Tulip and says, "Oh, good, she's still in purgatory. We have," and she looks at the clock. Sometime. The clock says 3:42. So go back to purgatory when Tulip figures out she has to put the battery in the clock. There
Oh.
were two scenes where they flashed on the clock, and I had to rewind it to the first scene when they flashed on the clock, and it still said 2:45.
Right.
And then Tulip puts the battery in the clock, and it's 2:45. So the time had froze in purgatory at 2:45.
How interesting.
Yeah. So there is a 1 or 2 hour time difference between purgatory and real life.
Or maybe
But
not. I mean, maybe it just was that time was frozen and time continued on, but
right,
not for Tulip, you know.
right. Yeah, exactly. That was the time when she should have moved on. So time froze in purgatory, and because she was fighting it and she figured a way out, like yeah,
I thought it was really interesting when Madame Langelle was talking about how if she answers the door when death comes to the door, then she's gone. And
right,
death coming to the door was children's services.
yeah. Oh, that was good.
Yeah, we're
But
not
yeah,
even going to go there, right?
right. I was very hyper focused on the clocks and the times because
hmm
those were the only numbers, and I actually was super lazy and I didn't look them up.
Oh, I was totally lazy and didn't look the numbers up either, so you'll have to do that for next time.
Yeah, yeah, but like I said in the beginning, I loved the little girl being like, "I'm a reenactor. I work here."
By the way, did you realize whose voice that was?
Miss Mannering.
Yes, it was Miss Mannering's voice.
Yes.
So she apparently has some sway in Purgatory as well.
Yeah.
Or at least has a little bit of a role in Purgatory.
Or that's just a common voice for demons.
No, I like to think that Miss Mannering has a little bit of a role in Purgatory. But that's just me.
That's her hobby. It's what she does. In her hours.
when she's bored. So did you see what the blood that Jessie gave to Grandma looked like when she pulled the cloth back toward her?
I didn't.
It looked like a footprint. And
Oh.
it looked like a baby's footprint.
Oh, that's weird.
Like one from, you know how they footprint you for your birth certificate?
Yeah.
It looked like that.
Yeah. Huh.
I don't know that that's significant, but it was really creepy looking.
Yeah. So what do you think she's going to do with that blood? Like, what do you think that means? Because there's a price to pay for everything. And I'm still really curious what the price was to bring the chicken back. But,
I imagine Tulip was a little more costly.
right. But it was just, 5 to 8 drops of blood. So
I'm
what?
thinking that was just the contract. I'm thinking that was just his signature on the contract.
Or she can do some wicked voodoo magic with Custer blood.
Interesting. Or
Yeah.
she has control over him the way she has control over Tulip because of having body substance.
Yeah.
So there's this whole thing in neo-paganism, in modern witchcraft, where really if you're disposing of hair or fingernail clippings or anything like that, you should dispose of them in a way that other people can't get a hold of them, because theoretically if other people get a hold of them, they have some sort of power over you.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That makes sense because, it's anything shed from the body in ritual can be used, like blood or spit or clippings of hair. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've never been that obsessed about my fingernail clippings.
Me either. Although I am one of those that I put them on, I gather them up and put them on a tissue as I'm clipping my nails because I can't stand to have them randomly just laying
Like pop across the room or
or no.
Yeah, icky.
Yeah. I've never eaten them though.
No, not a delicacy I'm considering trying.
No, and I don't even bite my nails.
Me either.
Biting my nails is like chewing tinfoil for me. It just
It's like eating Necco wafers.
Oh, no, I would rather eat tinfoil.
So what else you got?
I think that is pretty much it.
Oh, so I have a little bit more. So we find out that Jody was behind the killing of Jesse's father.
That's right.
Which to me says that Grandma is responsible for Jesse's father's death.
Yeah.
Because Jody and TC just do Madam's bidding.
Yep.
So I think we're going to find out more about that.
Yeah, and they're definitely going to come up as featured cast members. I can't wait to actually do TC because I'm a fan of his other work.
Oh, so, very cool.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him immediately, but that smile gives it away.
Well, he does a very good job being obsequious.
Oh, yeah.
So the other thing is, Grandma is totally setting Cassidy up. Because she tells him that whole story about how she did the love spell on that person that she wanted. And then she basically, in the same breath, is like, and I'm so grateful to you for bringing Jesse home if there's anything you ever want.
Oh, I did not catch that. Mm-hmm. That is awesome. Again, the acting in this episode was great. When Cassidy told Jesse that he and Tulip shagged,
right?
The look on Cassidy's face, I'm just like, what was actually going through the actor's mind at that point to get that look? That was just the cat that ate the canary. Like, he was just twisting the knife into Jesse at that point.
Well, and you told me, and I didn't realize it, that for quite some time, Dominic Cooper and Ruth Negga dated.
Yes.
So you gotta wonder if there wasn't a little subtext going on there, just in terms of, I really know how to get your goat for real.
Yes. Oh, I had no idea they dated. So, when the news broke that they broke up before season 3, I was like, wait, they were a thing in real life? But apparently they were a thing in real life for a very long time.
Which I'm really bummed out that they've broken up.
I am too, but I'm glad to see that they still work well. Okay, so far, the last 2 minutes of the episode, they were on the screen. Because really, it was just her dead body the entire episode.
Right.
He works well with her corpse.
There you go. And that may be part of the reason that they broke up.
Oh, that's awful.
So another thing that I read, this is not anything that's an original thought to me, but I thought it was really interesting. So Jesse's hell is going back and being with his family. And so, we think about all of last season and seeing these other characters live through their hell, and now we're seeing Jesse live through his.
Yes.
Which I thought was a really powerful observation.
That is super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So, What is God's mission for Tulip?
I don't know.
So there was some speculation online where, because God gets cut off, Tulip gets brought back right as
Right.
God is like,
And we
go get
and we don't get a chance to know what.
right. And so there was some speculation online that the line is, go get those sons of bitches, meaning the Grail Industries.
Oh, and the next episode is called Sons of
Sons of
Bitches.
bitches. Yep. So
Oh.
just some conjecture, some speculation online, but is Tulip's mission to take down Grail Industries?
So that actually, for some reason, brings up something entirely other for me, which is why did Jesse not try the word? I know that it wasn't working for him well at the end of the last season, but it
But you'd
wasn't
think you would try everything.
right. You know, and
Yeah.
he could have tried it on Grandma, he could have tried it on Jody, and he didn't try it on anybody.
Anybody.
You
Yeah,
didn't see
you're
him
right.
even try to pull it out.
You're right.
So
Huh.
we've got this very confusing thing. We've got this potential mission from God for Tulip, and then we've got, where's Genesis? What's going on with Genesis?
Right. And I'm also like, why doesn't God just do this himself? I mean, I know he's on vacation or whatevs,
He's on a
but
walkabout.
dude, my boss is retiring in 2 months, and she's down in Idaho house hunting, and she's still checking her email. Like, I'm pretty sure that God can multitask.
He apparently doesn't want to. He's not as
No,
committed to his job as your boss is.
no. Is it like that one cardinal said, where he's focused on his backup planet or whatever? The 10-foot like dog people or something, or whatever it was that the cardinal said.
Latex dog suits.
Yeah.
Whoop whoop.
Eerily realistic looking dog masks. Ugh.
Eerily realistic. I don't think I'll ever have a Dalmatian now. Thank you very much.
Nope. Nope. But yeah, so why is Tulip the chosen one? Why can't God handle his stuff himself?
And why would he choose Tulip and not
Yeah.
Jesse?
Yeah. And why come to her at the moment of being brought back? You like he's apparently somewhat corporeal, like at least in his dog suit, he's the lightest contained or something.
Or maybe he couldn't access her in purgatory.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he could be like, I'll follow up with her in like 2 days, and like I'll just like take a trip out to Angelville, and we'll have a nice chat. But no, I got to come to her in some weird fever dream after purgatory right before she gets brought back.
Oh, and we're definitely going to see God again.
Tell her something super duper important and then get cut off.
Right.
Like a bad answering machine. So, yeah, I guess I lied. I did have more.
It was a very dense episode. There was a lot.
There was a lot. So that's why I was really reaching for the whole my bad but like I said, I really do miss Eugene and Hitler's storyline.
And
But
I'll be honest, that's why I was lazy about the numbers.
yeah, well, I was lazy about the numbers because I got caught up in our featured cast
I was
members.
going to say you got caught up in Betty Ann Buckley.
Oh man, I have just been. I'm not even gonna say it. Rob will have to cut the entire segment. Yeah, no. So yeah, that's why I was lazy on the numbers, is because I love Betty Buckley. She, if there's ever a Ruth Bader Ginsburg biopic, she needs to play her.
Oh, she would be awesome.
Amazing.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. I will. Apparently the Walking Dead people are listening to The Walking Dead. Maybe somebody else is listening to our good news, and they'll get right on that biopic.
I think Seth Rogen is going to be on it.
Oh, I cannot wait to see him play Walter Cronkite. That is such a departure for him. I'm so excited.
I didn't know he was doing that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so bad. I'm so out of touch.
He is a busy, busy man from turning down Paul Ryan's selfies to directing new stuff to Preacher season 3. Yeah.
Good on Seth.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if I can find the name of the movie coming up. Seth Rogen in a serious role. Like I'm not a huge fan of all of his movies. No, I'm not big on Pineapple Express or Superbad or anything, but I loved Knocked Up. I loved God, what else? The Interview was okay. That's the one where they go to North Korea.
Right.
He's coming up in The Lion King as the voice of Pumbaa.
Oh, really?
Which I guess they're filming, so are they doing a live action Lion King? How's that gonna work? I don't know. But yeah, he's coming up. It's pre-production in Newsflash, and he is playing Walter Cronkite. Huh. Yeah, on November 22, 1963, CBS newsman Walter Cronkite is given the task of reporting live on television about President John F. Kennedy's assassination in Texas.
Oh, that could be really powerful.
Yeah, like that's going to either be amazing for Seth Rogen or it's going to be a spectacular flop.
Let's hope for Seth, who still needs the t-shirt, that it's not going to be.
And the bumper sticker, Humperdinck 2020.
Humperdoo.
Yeah. Humperdinck was the prince and the Princess Bride.
Right.
The king, yeah. So, Newsflash will also have Mark Ruffalo as Don Hewitt.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And a guy named Logan Lerman as Dan Rather.
Oh, I think it'll be good.
Right? I'm so up for that. Like, Seth Rogen in a serious role. I will pay to see it.
So he was in Zack and Miri, right?
Yes.
I loved that movie.
Yes, I do too.
So.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that's all we got.
I think that's about it. And we've got a new episode in a few days.
Yeah. Episode 2, Sons of Bitches.
Where we see Grail Industries come back into the picture.
Yes.
And Tulip gets to punch Laura Featherstone.
So there was an article that says Tulip will be even more badass this season.
Yay!
So, I know. I'm like, how is that possible?
Right?
Yeah. So exciting stuff ahead. I hope we stay on task for season 3 and podcast regularly because this looks like a really good season.
Well, I think we just have to pinky promise.
Yeah. Pinky swear.
Yeah, pinky swear.
And with that...
Well, little sister...
Till the end of the world.
Till the end of the world.
Have a good week, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
I left his body